How much plastic is in our environment? What was once a revolutionary invention is now overflowing our oceans and causing the deaths of thousands of whales, birds, and turtles. Would it make our lives less pleasant without it? By getting rid of plastic debris, how many animal species could we save? Your plastic bag is actually natural gas or oil that has been chemically processed. When you're done, you can tear it, burn it, or throw it away. However, unlike this loaf of bread, it will not break down. We have produced 6.3 billion tons of plastic since the 1950s. We have recycled 9% of it and burned another 12%. As a result, we now have 4.9 billion tons of trash made of plastic. About 10% of the waste we produce is made of plastic. This plastic mountain would be larger than Mount Everest if we could gather it all in one location. With approximately 46,000 pieces of plastic per square mile, plastic accounts for approximately 90% of all trash on the ocean surface. Every second, 160,000 plastic bags are used around the world. Every year, 5 trillion plastic bags are made. In the United States alone, 500 million plastic straws are used each year. By 2050, plastic pollution will outnumber fish pound for pound if production continues at the current rate. Since plastic will only begin to degrade after 700 years and will not completely degrade until 1000 years later, all plastic that humans produce has not yet begun to degrade. Petroleum, natural gas, and a variety of other chemicals are used to make plastic bags. It is harmful to the environment when it is made. Every day, 10 metric tons of plastic are dumped into the Pacific Ocean in the Los Angeles area. Most of this waste ends up in the ocean, where it kills marine animals that mistake it for food because it is inedible. We could save hundreds of marine species from getting caught or eating plastic if we stopped using them. Some of the compounds and chemicals found in plastic, like BPA, have been found to alter hormones or have other potential effects on human health. Plastic can also have a negative impact on our health. However, how about us? Without plastic, what would our daily routine be like? Even if you packed your groceries in reusable shopping bags and didn't bring your lunch to work in a plastic container, you still wouldn't be completely plastic-free. Plastic is all over. Every year sees a worsening of our reliance on plastic. A plastic resin covers aluminum cans. Without it, your Coke would erode in 3 days or less. A thin layer of plastic is also concealed by the paper cups. You think they keep the liquid inside in some way. Tea bags are heat sealed with polyethylene, so if there were no plastic, there would also be no tea. Shopping for groceries without plastic would be very different. Glass bottles would be used to store our liquids. Paper would cover our cheese and meats. You would pack all of your groceries in cardboard boxes or paper bags. Plastic packaging is great because it keeps food fresher for longer. A lot of our food would have to be grown or raised locally if this fundamental method of food preservation was not used, and a lot of it would only be available during certain seasons. Our primary environmental concern would be organic waste, which would clog landfills. There would be no polyester socks, nylon dresses, or acrylic sweaters for us to wear. Say farewell to your fleece coat. Safety gear that is resistant to heat and water would also not exist. Plastics are also used in adhesives for furniture, technology, and other important items. The majority of cooking tools are made of plastic. Plastics are also a key component of our medical technologies. They are used to make eyeglasses, prosthetics, a wide variety of medical implants, and other devices that keep us alive and healthy. You wouldn't be able to watch this video if plastic hadn't been invented. Plastic is needed for electrical insulation, so there wouldn't be cheap circuits to build your phone or computer. Bakelite, one of the first plastics, was used in early electronics in the 1910s. As our electronics require, plastic can be molded into smaller and more specific shapes. We would remain in the 1870s, insulating our wires with rubber and lacquer, both of which are hazardous and non-durable. We would never have made any progress toward affordable electronics. It is possible to substitute a different material for plastic in our electronics, but doing so would be extremely challenging due to the requirements. Plastic doesn't conduct electricity, which is very important for the replacement material. But at least we wouldn't be polluting the earth with things like toothbrushes, water bottles, disposable coffee cups, and other things made of plastic. Plastic debris would also have no effect on 700 marine species. Assuming that the possibility of somebody removing your plastic doesn't destroy your day, consider moving to Kenya or Bangladesh, where it's against the law to utilize plastic sacks. You might want to get some of the slimy pets known as wax worms, the lesser wax moth, also known as Achroia gracella, and the greater wax moth, also known as Galleria melanella. 6,000 wax worms can consume a plastic bag in an hour. An organic recycling station could be set up in your own home. The larvae of wax moths are called wax worms. There are actually two closely related species of wax moth, both of which are bred for commercial purposes. Wax worms can be used as a substitute for mammals in a variety of scientific studies because they are also a food source for numerous plants and insects. It has been documented that two distinct kinds of wax worms consume and digest polyethylene before transforming it into a form that is biodegradable.